Hey, I'm Kelsey here at Sequatchie Cove Farm. I'm the third generation to live and work here on the farm. And here we are in late summer, and I'm just going to give y'all some quick updates and show you a few things we have going on around the farm today. Right out here, this field's called Rocky Battle. And so we have one group, we have about 2,500 hens out there. And actually the rams are over in this same field. We can go check on them really quick. Yeah, so we have we have 4 groups of chickens now, and that's we just went from 5,000 hens to 8,000. So we have substantially more birds than we've ever had on the farm. Wow. Let's see if we can find the rams out here in the jungle. Never know what you're gonna find. Hopefully, there's some rams in here. The pasture management this time of year can be one of the trickier things that we do, because we're wanting to, we always want the animals to have really high quality forage, but we're also planning to make sure we have enough grass stockpiled to take us all the way through the winter. Well, where are you, Ram? Tangled in the netting. Okay. This is what happens when your netting's not turned on. So, just gonna learn everything not to do today. Yeah, this is definitely a common rookie mistake. I shouldn't be making it, but yeah, the thing with this netting is if it's not electrified, that can happen. Especially young animals that haven't really learned about the electric fence yet, like you need to have the fence on at all times. We just were grazing this creek bank here, so I hadn't brought a solar charger over here, but obviously screwed up. Now they're out in the woods. I haven't had this happen all year. Yeah, this is the real stuff. And the real rams, I swear, are just stupid. Like, the females are so much smarter than the males with sheep. Like, they'll just literally stand out in the middle of the sun all day, and they have like all this shade. Like, what are you guys doing? And then you have all this grass to eat, and you choose to stick your head in the middle of the fence and try to strangle yourself instead of just eating the grass. It's a good thing it came out here when we did. Oh. Sometimes you have to cut them out. This is the exact kind of thing too that, like, if you have livestock and you don't live like nearby and check on them frequently, this would be a situation where, like, if you're only checking on your animals once a week or whatever, you're just going to come out and find dead animals. But luckily we check on our animals, usually multiple times a day. Even if a problem like this does happen, we catch it quick enough. I bet part of what happened is the ewes are literally right across the creek over there, and we just weaned some of these rams, and that's probably what they were doing, is trying to get through the fence to get to the ewes flock. Fun stuff every day. The other thing is, luckily they're so calm because we're moving them like every day or every couple days. So, like, even though they are on the wrong side of the fence, it's just not that, like, if these were animals that hadn't been handled very much, I might not have ever seen them again. They could have just taken off. But they're used to this place and they're used to moving, so they're just hanging out right here on the other side of the fence. Yeah, so that's more like the day in the life. Farm tour turned day in the life of all the crap we have to deal with. All right, everybody's back in. That wasn't too bad. Need to bring a charger over here. I actually had one of my chargers just got flooded out, and one of the last crazy rainstorms we had. So, the sheep normally most of the year are in one flock, but we just separated the males. And we have a new flock of chickens. So yeah, so like right now we have 6 different groups of animals that all have electric fencing. Anyway, now that we have them all back where they're on the right side of the fence, this is our group of rams. We have 2 breeding rams in here, and then all the rest, which is about, I think about close to 50 male sheep that were born on the farm this spring around March and April. And so we let them naturally live with their moms up until essentially once we think they're maturing to the size, reaching sexual maturity and are large enough to breed other females. That's when we separate them, because we leave the males intact, where some people castrate, but we leave them intact, and then we separate them. And then once we put the breeding rams back in with the female flock, and give them about 2 months to make sure everybody's bred for spring, then we'll recombine all the sheep for the rest of the winter. The more groups of animals you have, the more complicated it gets. Having like a really good grazing plan when you're moving animals as frequently as we have. So having 2 groups literally makes the grazing plan twice as complicated. So these are our Katahdin hair sheep is the breed, and they're specifically for meat. So they are really bred to be super sustaining out on pasture. They do really well in our climate here. We don't have to give them any kind of wormer. We don't have to give them any kind of feed supplements or anything like that. So the males, basically what happens is the females we save for breeding stock, keep growing our own flock, and when our flock reaches capacity on this farm, we'll sell the females for breeding. And then the males, we might select like 1 or 2 of the best looking ones to sell for breeding or to keep for our own breeding program. And then all the rest are what go into the meat program. So this is what our grass-fed lamb that we sell every year is coming from the males that are born and raised on this farm. So all the different foods that we produce, the ruminants really are like just this magical creature, how they have these multiple stomachs and are able to just eat, these plants right here that non-ruminants like humans, if we tried to just eat these grasses and things, we would starve to death. But they're literally like getting fat and healthy just eating grass. So it's really pretty amazing. And a lot of farmers will argue that you can't finish animals, or it's too hard to finish animals without feeding them corn and grains, and that's just really not true. It requires a lot of kind of experienced pasture management, knowing what you're doing, but I mean, in this group of 5-month-old rams, we already have some that are probably, I would say the average weight of these is maybe like 80 around 80 pounds, and we'll bring them into butcher when they're around 100 to 120 pounds. So yeah, and whoever came up with the essentially branding of calling meat from sheep lambs was like such a terrible idea. Like, we don't call pork piglet, we don't call beef calf, and we don't call chicken chick, but for some reason we call lamb. You know, like what there is veal, which actually is like a baby cow essentially. But that's not what, you know, when you're getting lamb, usually you're getting a sheep that's around a year old, which is, you know, in the terms of lifespans, like that is like, essentially they've reached maturity at around you know, 8 months to a year of age. So yeah, so have a really great upbringing. They get to stay with their moms, drinking the milk. They're like out living this pretty relaxing, peaceful life out here on pasture, doing their thing. And yeah, and so we believe that, like, we're offering our animals the best life possible, and we're also managing our land in the best way we think we can. And having meat to sell is how we're able to economically keep doing what we're doing, and also sustain ourselves, because we all have to eat as well. So yeah, the sheep are doing really well, and are an exciting part of our business, and just how all the different moving pieces fit together. The sheep are a really important part of you know, filling the role of managing pastures and cycling the nutrients and providing really nutritious food for ourselves and our customers. Okay, where to next? I guess we'll go down and check on the ewe flock to see the river cane down there. Oh, and we'll see the corn. Fall, winter is kind of the sorry, I'm in the middle of talking, but I need to tell them what to pack. I think we'll make the rest of the tour kind of quick. We've had a lot of rain this year. It's like, this year is the complete opposite of last year. We could look at it in here. I haven't done that yet. I wonder if it's starting to turn. Yeah, so right here, this is our North Georgia Candy Roaster squash, which is a squash that was grown by the Cherokees in this area. And we've been saving the seed from this for a few years, and our friend, the seed saver's been saving it for many years. But anyway, here's a squash. You can see it's this weird shape, like a giant banana or something, and it'll get easily double that size and then turn a really dark kind of orange and bluish green color. And it's called a candy roaster, and it really, even my kids say it tastes like candy. It's like the most delicious squash, and it stores really well too. And then this is our Bloody Butcher corn that we planted. Actually, we planted it kind of late this year because it was so wet in the spring. So this is going to continue to grow and dry down for the next couple months. But starting to turn colors. That's kind of cool. Yeah, so this would be considered like the milky stage of the corn, when it's like sweet corn. The ears are soft, and kind of, literally kind of, milk squirting out of there. So, you know, traditionally in Mexico or wherever, like you could eat this as a sweet corn or like a roasting corn right now. We're gonna let it dry down and make grits and cornmeal out of it. But yeah, I don't know what it tastes like right now. Well, kind of dry. Still tastes good, but I think if we wanted to eat it as a sweet corn, we probably just should have done it a few weeks ago. And we're gonna have a really great crop this year. Probably more corn than ever. Yeah, so we've been trying to document all the steps from like planting, you know, saving the seeds and preparing the soil and planting the corn all the way through the harvest and eventually milling process and everything. So yeah, you can look up some of the earlier videos from this spring, and then we'll have, you know, be on the lookout for like a more complete video of showing the whole process. But yeah, I was planning on taking y'all over to check on the ewes and check on the summer pastures, but I have to get back over to help pack eggs because we have an order going out to Chattanooga literally in like 30 minutes. So we're gonna go check on the egg shed and help pack some eggs. We'll have to check on the ewes next time.